Hey everybody, John Wagnon here with DevCentral, and in this video we're going to talk about a really powerful new solution, and it's called the NGINX App Protect Denial of Service solution. So a quick word about denial of service attacks. There's been a sharp rise, many of you probably know that, in denial of service attacks, but more specifically layer 7 denial of service attacks. And so you have, sometimes you have volumetric attacks, maybe at the network layer, like layer 3, 4 attack, but the layer 7 attacks are different because they're attacking the application and not necessarily the network itself. And in fact, frankly, a lot of the layer 3 and 4 DoS solutions are commoditized or provided by cloud vendors, things like that. But nonetheless, regardless of what kind of denial of service attack you're experiencing, they're all, powerful, and they can be dangerous, and they need to be dealt with. And so a lot of times on the layer 7 denial of service attacks, these are legitimate requests that come in the form of things like HTTP get flood or post flood attacks, or things like slow LoRaS or slow read or slow post. These are some of the layer 7 attacks. And the interesting thing about these is that they are legitimate HTTP requests coming into your application, but they are in fact attacks. And so you need something that's going to, prevent this problem. So I'm going to draw a quick picture here of how the NGINX App Protect denial of service solution can help protect all of this. So let's say you have, your users who are accessing your applications, and let's say, for example, you have like a load balancer here, like a software load balancer, and let's say NGINX Plus is installed here. And you can put NGINX App Protect right here as well. So I'll just put like a little, box around all that. And then let's say, just for purposes of illustration, you have maybe an API gateway. So I'll just put, gateway like right there. And then you have certainly API endpoints here. So I'll just put, endpoints for various APIs. And then maybe over here you have, an ingress controller. So I'll put, ingress, which there is an NGINX App Protect ingress, you can, or an NGINX ingress controller, and you can install NGINX App Protect there as well. And then let's just say you have, Kubernetes, so K8s, pods down here, hosting, a variety of applications. So this is like a Kubernetes cluster, let's say. All right, and you can install, which I'll just kind of put a note here, you can install NGINX App Protect. I'll put it like right here in all of these locations, NGINX App Protect. And so, frankly, anywhere you can install this web application firewall, whether it's NGINX App Protect or not, there's other ones that you could do. There's mod security, there's other web application firewalls, but regardless, anywhere a web application firewall could be installed, you can install the NGINX App Protect denial of service solution. So it's a layer on top of these web application firewalls. And so you get visibility around denial of service attacks whenever you install this solution close to the application. So we would recommend doing that. So like here in the ingress controller, or here at the API gateway, a variety of places. These are just two examples. But sometimes there's internal clients that would have, unintentional DoS attacks. And so you could see that much better. There's more visibility when you install this close to the application. So this NGINX App Protect DoS solution helps customers minimize the reputation impact. It analyzes the user and the service behavior, and it identifies bad actors and blocks the resource abuse that they perform by using a variety of mitigation strategies. And so some of those that I'll go over really quick are things like, how do you detect the attack when these requests are legal, real requests? As I mentioned before, these are legitimate HTTP requests. Also, how do you evaluate server health? And that's a big part of what this NGINX App Protect DoS solution does. Another question you may ask is, when does the attack start? But almost more importantly, or certainly as important, when does the attack end, and how do you know it ends? Sometimes it's really easy to know it started because now you're flooded with a ton of traffic. How do you know that it has ended, right? These are good questions to ask. And then how do you mitigate these attacks with little or no impact to the good, legitimate users, right? Also, in the world of modern architectures where things are changing rapidly, how do you distinguish between an application change and a DoS attack, right? So these are all really, really good questions, and these are things that NGINX App Protect DoS solution provides an answer for, right? And so what it does is it's this NGINX App Protect DoS solution learns the typical behavior of your application. And one of the really cool things about this is it only takes a few minutes to do this. Like many times less than 10 minutes, it will learn the typical behavior of your application. And then it will begin to find behavior anomalies or changes in global behaviors to your applications. And then when it finds those anomalies, it's going to find who created the anomalies, these bad actors. And it's going to do that by looking at source IP address, things like exported for address, those types of things. And then it starts to generate a list of rules that describe the attacking traffic, but it does not affect the good traffic. So things it might look for are things like HTTP request methods, user agents, HTTP URI parameters, things like that, and it will start to build a list of rules. And it uses a statistical site model to find the bad traffic and the bad actors. And then attack signatures are then automatically generated and applied to to that application or where that NGINX App Protect DoS solution is applied, and then it begins to block the bad traffic, right? And so when an attack happens, because frankly, you're going to get DoS attacked at some point. So let's say an attack comes into your application here. So I'll just, I'll put attack here. The attack begins, right? And it's launched at your application or applications. Then what the NGINX App Protect DoS solution is going to do is look at bad IPs. So there's a variety of things here, and I'll just put a few of them right here. Bad IPs. And so it blocks requests from those bad IP addresses based on some of the solution technology that I talked about just a second ago. And then it's going to form a list of signatures. So here's a signatures list. And then it's going to block any kind of request that matches that signature, right? And then it's also going to look at global settings. So I'll just put global settings here. And so based on global settings, it can do things like rate limit based on the server health. And as I mentioned before, the NGINX App Protect DoS solution looks at the actual health of the servers. And it knows, hey, are these healthy or are they not healthy? And that's one of the key components of things I mentioned a second ago, the changes in applications. If you're looking at server health constantly, then you can start to distinguish between, hey, was this an application change or is this a DoS attack? And so the fact that it really focuses on server health, then it can know, it can distinguish between those two things. A couple of key points I want to mention about NGINX App Protect Denial of Service solution is that it is a zero-touch solution. It has a false positive avoidance mechanism that keeps the good traffic flowing but blocks the bad traffic. And many users may be, maybe interested in that, or frankly may be concerned that the false positives, you don't want the good traffic to be blocked along with the bad traffic. You just want bad traffic. But anyway, this has a false positive avoidance mechanism built into it. This solution also supports modern applications in these distributed architectures. And there's value here where the behavior about the client and the application can now be synchronized across many instances of this NGINX App Protect denial of service solution. So it's going to be able to protect the application where it can horizontally scale out and protect not just from a denial of service attack, but from a distributed denial of service attack. In fact, many of these are DDoS attacks, distributed denial of service. So, as you install NGINX App Protect DoS solution across a multitude of points across all of your applications, this can scale out horizontally and protect you from that distributed attack as well. It's a very lightweight package. It has very low total cost of ownership. It synchronizes very well in these modern, fast applications and architectures, right? And so, again, I just wanted to emphasize the main idea here is that this solution is fully automatic, so you just need to enable it or disable it, although we frankly recommend you enable it, of course. So that's that zero touch. You just enable it, and then there's no more touch that you need to have with it. However, if you want to, you can configure it to where you can only detect and report instead of block these different attacks. And so it's configurable in the sense that you can detect and block, detect and report or block. And then also you can turn on and off the use of bad actors and signatures. And so there's a little bit of configuration you can do here, but again, the primary focus is you can install this solution. It layers on top of any web application firewall that you have. Certainly NGINX App Protect is one of those. And then it is a zero-touch solution where it does all the configuration, all of the blocking, all of that for you. And again, with that false positive avoidance mechanism, it's going to block the bad stuff and it's going to keep the good traffic flowing. So this is a very powerful solution to keep your applications safe today. So thanks for watching this Lightboard lesson video with us today. Hey, if you like this, you can click up here on our DevCentral logo and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you guys out there in the community.